So, inserts. So, inserts are all of those bits and bobs, papers, certificates that you include with your artwork when it sells. And I personally really love this part because I love designing them, I love thinking about it, I love including it, packing it with my artwork. So, I just wanted to go through with you the things that I use to include with my pet portraits. So first up is the certificate of authenticity. So I actually have a few variations of mine. I've got this one, and then I've also got like a plainer one. So there's no particular reason why I have two different ones. It's just like that's what I felt like doing at the time, and then I wanted a much plainer version as well. This is also printed on better card, so I was just trying out different ways to do it. And that's the fun thing about certificates of authenticity, is that they don't need to look a specific way. As long as they have the same information on, the correct information on, then they can look however they want, and that's up to you to decide, and it can be part of your branding and your style as an artist as well. So I went for a phase of everything being silver and blue. Now, as you could probably tell from my studio, I'm way more like green and gold. So I haven't actually updated my certificates to go with my new branding, but I will be doing that, and that'll be a fun thing to share with you. So stay tuned for that. Anyway, so certificates of authenticity are really important to include with everything that you sell, especially pet portrait commissions, because it makes it feel then like a real sale to the customer, because they've got all the information that they need about it being produced by an artist, and that they've bought it from you as well. As well as if they wanted to sell it in the future. They probably won't, obviously, if it's a pet portrait commission, but it's good to have anyway. It feels professional, and it's sort of like, a proof of you're the one that's created that artwork, which I think is really important, especially as you become more known as an artist. So on the certificates, you need a title of artwork, artist name, drawing size, date produced, and medium and materials, and most definitely it needs to be signed by the artist and the date of signature. So that's what that includes. And if you do have trouble like figuring out design, and you don't have time to design your own certificates, I've got a huge pack of these certificates. Hold on. Look, I've produced loads of them now. So I've got loads of certificates that I'm basically a certificate designing crazy lady. So I've created loads of these certificates. This is actually my most popular design, this one. You may have recognised it. Sorry, it's a little bit smudged. But the actual design itself is a download, a template. So you can either fill it out yourself, print it, fill it, or you can edit it on Canva, on Photoshop. That's how it comes. And the seals. Now, the seals are a really fun part. It's sort of like, it's not necessary to have a seal, but it just looks fun. So I used to use this gold seal. So as you can probably see, it's got some writing on it as well. So it says, original artwork by Sema Martin, UK. So this was my gold seal. Normally you'd get it with one of these. So this is like an embossing tool, like a press, and you get them customized. So inside there is like my design, and then you get one of these as well with it, and you put it in. There you go, like this. And then you buy these, they're called wafers, so gold wafers that you can buy, and then all you do is literally this. You just press it, line it up in the middle like that, press it as hard as you can, and then ta-da, you have a beautiful seal ready to peel and stick onto your certificate. So they are really fun. I've also got custom holograms. So I've gone a little step further, totally unnecessary for a pet portrait business, but I like to think of things that can make my clients feel a little extra, oh, that's nice, you know? Because who wouldn't want to see something and think that it's really cool or really pretty, or, you know, that extra effort. I feel like the extra effort is what my clients love about what I do and the service that I provide. So I got these holograms made of my logo. So my logo is like an S with wings. It's sort of like a swan, I suppose. And that's my logo. I got the holograms done on eBay. So I just found a seller on eBay that did custom holograms. Commissioned them to get it done. I've got like 500 now, so I have to use them somehow. And they actually are really fun. I really enjoy using the holograms. I also use them on my prints to sort of show that these prints are mine. It's sort of like a little way of showing that it's proof that it's come from me. It's proof that it's from my hand. It's not printed elsewhere. Sometimes I've also got a custom one of these that says original prints by Sema Martin. So this one says original artwork by Sema Martin. And then I've got another one that says original prints. And I would emboss my print just in the corner. And I think that also adds to the professionalism of showing that it is an original print from the artist rather than, you know, stolen off the internet and printed out. So these are like little ways that you can ensure the artwork is from you, and your clients can know that it's from you and not elsewhere. So those are little things to prove that it's your artwork. Another thing I like to add in my pet portrait commissions is a little bio, and this isn't something that I've seen a lot of artists do, so if you want to do it, great. It's really important I feel like it's really important for the client to know more about you, and then they can tell their friends and their family and say, look, this is the artist that I commissioned, you know, this is all about them. So I literally just wrote a little story, you know, who I am, what I did. So on here, I can read it out. Entirely self-taught, artist Sema Martin made the leap from NASA aerospace engineer to fine art artist in 2016. With no formal art or business education, she's created and grown a thriving international pet portrait business. In 2020, she left her small cottage in Wales and moved to the French Riviera to further pursue her love of art, following the footsteps of the great artists who worked in the region. She has also written a book called Art is My Career, How to Start an Art Business, to inspire artists to make a career from doing what they love. And then I've put my website, www.semamartin.com. So this is a little bit out of date now because it's been 4 years since I lived in the Riviera. So I do need to update this before I start sending out my new commissions. But that is a gist of just a summary of me, who I am, what I do, and it's just nice. Like, who doesn't love a story? Clients love the story of who they've commissioned and the artist that's drawn, you know, their best friend. So I really like this edition. It's not a crucial one, but I think it's a really nice one to add with your pet portraits. Another one that I think is actually a little bit crucial is an artwork care guide. So I've sort of combined the sort of thank you section and artwork care guide together, and specifically written stuff about colour pencil, like how to take care of colour pencil artwork. So artwork on paper. If I haven't framed it, because I used to not frame my art, but now I do frame it, so I send it to the customer already framed and prepared. But when I hadn't, it was really important to tell them about the framing and where to hang it and how to mount it and all that kind of stuff. Otherwise, you know, it could very easily get damaged. It was just a piece of paper that I was sending them. But now that I send them the frame, it is a bit more easier to take care of. So that's what I include on the artwork care guide. And also a little thank you, like I'll read it out. So, thank you for trusting me to create this custom colour pencil portrait for you. I'm forever grateful to have had this opportunity and have loved every second of its production. If you are happy to, please send a short testimonial to my email address with a picture of you/your pet with the portrait, and please share my contact information with your family and your friends. I look forward to hearing from you and working together again. So I have asked for a testimonial. People don't always send a testimonial because they might not actually read this or see it, but I've said it once. And then normally I like to do a follow-up email to make sure they've received it. And ask again for a testimonial, and then sometimes I like to do another follow-up again, maybe a week or a month later, asking for another testimonial depending on the situation. Sometimes people like trying to get it framed, so it takes longer and that kind of thing. So I do like to follow up and make sure that I get testimonials from everyone, because it's really nice to show other clients, new clients, your testimonials. It's really important to have that proof of you working with clients and their actual view of you and your services. So testimonials are really important. So this is the first time I mention it, and it comes in the package with the pet portrait itself. So I do feel like that's important. Another little thing that isn't necessarily important but is really nice is like a little handwritten thank you card. So mine is all branded. This is still my old branding colours. So I'm really excited to actually do my whole new branding colours with all the gold and the green. But so old branding colours, but this is just like a little thank you card that I hand write. So it's got my logo on the back, and then that's where I would write, dear so and so, thank you for choosing me to commission your pet portrait, and then whatever I'd want to say to them basically, and then say from Sema, with a few kisses obviously. And so that's what I like to hand write, and I think it looks nice on a branded piece of paper than like a scrap piece of paper. So it's again putting in a little bit more effort for your clients. And then business cards. So this is a crucial one. So we've got non-crucial ones and crucial ones. So I'd say this is another crucial one. Business cards. So mine actually have commissions on them. I've got more. Hold on. Yeah, here's another one. So I like to have examples of my work on the front, and then on the back is always the same. So I've got my information, and I've got my website and all that kind of stuff, and I've got my little hologram. Like, I wanted to use it somewhere, so I've got my hologram. Obviously that's not necessary, you don't have to do that, but I really wanted to. So I literally made a template to have the circle of the exact size of the hologram. So when I had it printed at moo.com, great place to get stuff printed, moo.com, I stuck the hologram in the little circle, and I think I measured pretty well because it looks very well in there in the little circle. So yeah, I think it's really important to show examples of your work on your business cards, and just have one, because business cards are really small. You can't have too many on there because people aren't going to be able to see it. But with moo.com, this is not sponsored by the way, but with moo.com you can have different pictures, so like a different back, up to like 50 different backs or something. So that's what I did. So I've got loads of them. I think I've got more in here. Yes. So look, I've got all of my examples here. So sometimes I also like to include, so if I've done a cat portrait, I'd include another cat so they can give to their friends. It looks like a pretty little picture anyway. They can put it on their fridge, whatever they want to do. And again, like if they commissioned a dog, I'd include a dog portrait, So it's a cute little thing to be able to give to your clients. Give them a few sometimes. I do give them a few. Even clients that have commissioned me in the past, I've then sent them business cards with their commission on it. So for instance, this one, his name's Marvel, and they commissioned me to do it, and then I sent it to them with all the business cards basically. And again, with these ones, these cute cats, so adorable, but it makes for like a little picture for them to have on their fridge as well, so they would love to have it. And they'd probably love to give it out because it's also like little cards that they can give out to their friends with their cats on. So I would do that as well. Send out loads of business cards to your recent customers of their pet portrait on them. I will actually do that. I'll do that again. I need to buy more business cards anyway because I need to change my branding colours. As you can tell, it's still all blue. But that's the great thing about a business, is that you can just keep sort of evolving. I started off doing like rainbow colours to white and blue to now sort of more like, I guess, grown up vibes of like darker colours, golds. I'm really going into like the gold era now. But that's okay. Like, just changing your business colour isn't gonna stop your customers knowing who you are. Like, you're still you. Changing your colour doesn't matter, so don't worry about that. Even changing your logo doesn't really matter. As long as your authentic voice, like the way you speak and the way you talk to your customers and the way you, I guess, show your work is still the same, it doesn't matter if you change your colour. So don't worry about that. If you've had a colour in mind for ages and you thought, oh, but if I change it from blue to purple, then no one's going to know who I am anymore, that's just not going to be the case. So just do it. It'll be fun. So I'm going to do mine, and that's going to be a really fun project to do in my spare time. Yeah, so those are all the inserts that I include with my pet portrait. So a certificate of authenticity, an artist bio talking about who I am and, you know, sort of my journey so far, and a business card that either with their pet on it, or just generally the same subject, so like a dog or a cat, if they've commissioned a dog or a cat, and also the artwork care guide. You can have a separate thank you note as well. I might separate mine, I don't really know. But yeah, an artwork care guide talking about how to take care of the artwork that they've received, a thank you, and a handwritten thank you. Like, you can take out the other thank you if you want to. You don't need to say thank you that many times, but a handwritten thank you, I would say, is more important than the printed out thank you. It's more authentic. It's nicer to receive a handwritten note that you know is written to you rather than something that's just been printed en masse. Like, it's quite obvious, isn't it? So a nice handwritten note. And yes, that's what I love to include with my pet portraits, and you should include them too. Let me know in the comments below if you want any more information, but I'll put all the links down as well to where I get them printed, and if you need any more information about building a pet portrait business, making consistent sales, then you can click the link below for the Business of Pet Portraits course.